We wanted to know what evaluators and decision makers from around the league thought of each other's draft. So Nolan went out and talked to them. We bring it to you in our Draft Confidential, starting with the Chicago Bears. And Nolan, Phil Emery, he just started as GM of the Bears. His first move was to go out and get Brandon Marshall. I think a controversial move a little bit, shocked a lot of people. Now he comes into his first draft. How do people view the job Emery did at the Bears draft?
Well, one GM I talked to only had 2 of the 6 players on their draft board, Shane McClellan, who he had in the 3rd round, and Evan Rodriguez, who he did have in the 4th, where he went. Rodriguez may turn out to be the best pick in this draft in terms of the value. I think he has the ability to come in right away and contribute. He does have some character questions that I think lessened his draft status, but you look at McClellan in the 1st round, a lot of people around the league did think it was a reach.
I mean, 2 of their entire draft on other people's boards kind of seems like a scary thought for Bears fans. Packers have always been a pretty good team drafting under Ted Thompson. This year, though, it seemed like there were some curious picks. What did evaluators think of the Packers draft?
There are a lot of projections and surprises that way. You look at Jarrell Worley, he played in the 4-3 front at Michigan State. They're projecting him into the 5 technique position. You look at their first pick, Nick Perry, same story. There's a fly off the snap defensive end at USC. They're going to be moving him to the outside linebacker position. Clay Matthews did show that he can do it, so we'll see if it works out for him. But even Mike Daniels in the 4th round, I think there's no true fit for him in the 3-4 front, so they're going to have their work cut out for him, trying to fit him into that defense.
The way the league has become a passing league, and as much time as teams spend in the nickel now, they may find a way to get all those guys on the field. The Lions had a pretty interesting draft. They took 3 guys from the University of Oklahoma. Is that something that surprised you at all? How do you explain that?
Jim Schwartz runs a very similar defense as Bob Stoops at Oklahoma, and I think Ronnell Lewis and Travis Lewis both have that type of grit, that tenacity, that edge to them that I think Jim Schwartz likes in his players. I think they'll fit very well in the locker room, and I think they both made a lot of sense from that standpoint.
They also took Riley Reiff, I think has been criticized at times. I know we've been kind of hard on him and his short arms and how that doesn't really translate as well to tackle as it may to guard. They're going to play him at tackle, it sounds like, though. Do you think that's a good move? What are people saying about that?
I think he was widely stacked at guard on most draft boards around the league. One team that I talked to said he had 3rd round feet and 4th round explosion and only saw him as a guard. So it's not a great combination. Does have some limited length there. So I think even though he is very efficient with his angles and may be able to make it there, it could always be a struggle.
The Minnesota Vikings, their first year as Rick Spielman's first year as GM there. He had been a GM before Miami for a year and then got tossed when Nick Saban came in. But his first time as Vikings GM makes a great trade, it looks like, right before the draft even gets going. He trades down a spot, still gets the guy he wants, and picks up 3 more picks. Was that viewed as a good deal around the league as much as it seemed like it was?
It was a very good deal to pick up 3 players, Jarius Wright in the 4th, and then potential starting safety, cornerback, and Robert Blanton, and place kicker Blair Walsh. To get all 3 and only move a spot was an outstanding deal for Spielman. There was nobody looking to come up. Tampa Bay was looking to go down for Barron. St. Louis was even looking to go down for Brockers. So I think the way that worked out for the Minnesota Vikings was very favorable for Spielman in his first year.
Pretty good job of already kind of working the system, working the draft, where we hear about so much stuff leading up to the draft, about the smoke screens people are setting, all these kind of things. Apparently he was convincing enough to make them think that someone was going to come up and get Trent Richardson. He ends up getting extra picks out of it. That's a look at what happened in the NFC North. We have audibles on all the team. We have more confidential for you right here at ProFootballWeekly.com.